Before we start,
Oh,
does the link
too
tree
late.
square? Oh, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it
Oh,
looks good to me.
that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it
I
looks
like
good
the
so far.
color.
Okay, I
Who
like the
cares if it's
font.
going right now? I can always
I
crop it.
like the font I chose.
You can see all the feeds. That's really the most important thing.
Yeah. All right.
But here we are tonight, right here in Dallas.
Liam, you sound
Oh, not in Dallas of all places. We're a couple of
Just,
weeks late for
just
the Dallas stuff.
the Michael Irvin clip.
What are you prepared to do about it?
How do I sound to you, Jake? You were about to.
now you sound a
Oh.
little muffled to me. Sorry.
Yeah, we were having some technical difficulties.
Before I got on,
It's the new feed. I think. I think that's what it is. I don't think it has
Fitz,
to
you
do
sound
with
you sound crystal clear.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that sounds great. I don't know if I just need to get a little closer here.
You got
You're
echo
not-
thing on, Liam, or some shit?
How do I sound now?
This is a great first impression, by the way. Actually, making sure that we sound fine. Again, I don't think it's Liam's mic. I don't think it's his connection. It's just the fact that we're on a completely different feed now. You know, we're getting used to these new living arrangements.
Okay.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Sure. Why not?
How do I
There's-
sound now?
I think you
hear me
sound
now?
fine.
Good enough. You sound good enough.
Okay, good enough.
Good enough.
There's got to be a good amount of people who don't know who we are, perhaps, huh? You know, people are used to listening
Oh,
to
it's
Over
true.
the Monster itself or the Red Seat. Well, we're the new show in town. We're Pot on Lansdowne, all right, and that's we're a little bit of a different kind of vibe over here, Jake. Isn't that right? We do things a little
We're
differently.
not
around these
afraid
parts.
to go there.
Yeah, we're not afraid to say that. We could. Hey, you know what? I don't know if you've ever heard a podcast with three straight white guys before, which by legal definition is called.
Cis het.
Like you know how a group of geese is called a gaggle of geese, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
A group of three or more white men together is called a podcast.
Oh, nice.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is Pot on Lansdowne. If you are aware, you know what the deal is. I'm Casey Kochman, aka Fitz. I'm joined by Is It Over, aka Jake, as well as
I have
Franchi's-
breaking news. I have breaking news at the top
Right
of
off
the
the.
show.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no. Oh, no.
The
no.
Athletics-
Give me a
the
skibbity.
ath-
Give me. Hold on. Give me a skibbity.
Liam, do skibbity.
Skibbity bop up.
The Athletics appear to be getting close to a trade of catcher Sean Murphy. The Braves are considered the front runners.
Are you?
Though,
Stop it, Atlanta. Stop.
though other teams remain in the mix.
Are we the mystery team? Was it us the whole time? Boston. It makes you think.
Okay, well, that
Interesting.
sucks. If it's
If that-
Braves, that sucks really bad.
Whatever.
I'm
Well,
sick
I mean-
of the fucking Braves.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it before. I'm fine if they go into the season with McGuire and Wong.
Icing on the cake, sort of deal.
Whatever.
That's what we said from the get go. If
Yeah.
you were listening on the old feed, but this is the new feed. We're an Over the Monster joint now. Pot on
Affiliated.
Lansdowne here. Thank you for joining us. If it's your first time, if it's your 12th time, if it's your infinitieth time, I don't know how many episodes specifically we've done. But thank you for joining us one way or the other. If you are new here, if you are confused as to what the hell is going on, because this has kind of been a all over the place sort of a start, Jake, give us like an elevator pitch of what Pot on Lansdowne is all about. If you had to explain to someone who had no idea what was going on here, what's your pitch?
Well, Fitz, I'm glad you asked.
That's the second straight week you've said that exact phrase, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, you said that last week too. Well, Fitz,
Well, I'm always
you
glad.
said
I'm
that.
always glad when you ask. That's why.
There you go.
Well, Fitz, I would say, like I said, we're not afraid to go there. And
If Freeform Jazz was a Red Sox podcast,
oh, that's way better than anything I was gonna say.
There
Let's
you
go with that. He's got it.
Jazz, something
Yeah.
that people
So
notoriously
Freeform
hate.
Jazz.
We're
There you
like
go.
3 Ryan Goslings in La La Land. I would say that's what we are.
Read as handsome. Very handsome.
Yes.
Because Ryan Gosling, the Goss God, my goodness gracious. Those eyes.
Jared
Those
Goff.
dreamy Jared Goff, that's right too. But no, glad you could join us here. Big episode on Pawn on Lansdowne as we make our SB Nation debut. Happy to be a part of the family. A lot of actual hard news, which we didn't have much of last week. We were still able to record. We were still able to make the most of it. But no, we actually have concrete things to talk about. We can get into the news regarding the franchise shortstop. We can get into a podcast favorite player leaving. There's only one way we're going to start this fucking episode, though, boys. There's only one. There's only one thing we're going to start with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get right into it, Fitz. This you've waited your whole life for this.
Yes, I have. Motherfucking Chris Martin, lead singer of the best band on earth right now, Coldplay, I'll have you know, is the newest member of the Boston Red Sox. Gentlemen, when the notification came in from Jeff Passan, for those who don't know, if you are new here, I am unironically a massive Coldplay fan, and I can hear people chuckling, probably thinking of the joke from the 40-Year-Old Virgin or from Family Guy. I've heard it all. I've heard all the criticisms about Coldplay. You can shove it up your ass, as far as I'm concerned. They're a great band. I've seen them 4 times. Consistently atop my Spotify rap. I am a diehard Coldplay fan. Love the band. So
you saw
imagine
the concert over the summer.
I did. Yes, I had to go to New Jersey for it because they weren't playing.
How many times have you seen them?
4 times.
Just said 4, idiot. He just said
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you for not listening.
I was thinking about him at MetLife.
You tuned it out. He started going on his Coldplay rant, and you.
That's right. Most people do. If I start ranting about Coldplay, they'll just tune out, which, again, I understand. I've seen them in 2012, seen them in 16, 17. Then this past June, I saw them at MetLife Stadium on the floor, too. I was dozens of feet away from our newest relief pitcher, Chris Martin. When that Jeff Passan notification... What's that, Liam?
Said he's got a great voice.
He's fantastic voice. No one could fix you like him. Are you kidding me? He's fantastic. So when that Passan notification came in, Missy Mopena can attest. Legitimately, like a loud gasp. We were about to go out. We were going to go furniture shopping, and the gasp I made legitimately hurt my vocal cord. That's how loud it was. Instantly, 10 notifications came in being like, oh God, here, Fitz is going to start. He's back on his bullshit here because the guy who's named after the lead singer of his favorite band is on his favorite baseball team now. I'm going to be insufferable with this, fellas, this entire year. This is a 2-year contract for Chris Martin. I'm going to be such a nuisance about this. If he pans out for the Red Sox, it's the best thing that's ever happened to my brand because the Red Sox Coldplay diehard Venn diagram thing, it's pretty small. It might even be a full-on circle. So, as the resident Coldplay guy on Red Sox Twitter, I got to wear this if he does well, and then if he does poorly, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to shake it. So it's really high stakes for me.
Fitz, I don't want to rain on your parade, but I think your Venn diagram analogy that's not how Venn diagrams work.
Well,
So
I guess you're right. Yeah,
but it would actually be 2 different circles. Is what you mean?
There's not too many people with me.
You're the only crossover.
Yes.
So it's just a little teeny little slither would be.
Okay. Yes. All right. So the exact opposite of what I said. Thank you for clarifying that.
I just wanted to,
holding me accountable.
For the new listeners, we are all about accountability on this show.
True.
But also, we've never been wrong. So we've never, that's the other thing.
Just only hypothetically speaking, we're accountable. But people are going to talk about the merits of this deal on the baseball diamond. My head is racing with the possibilities of puns and jokes and whatnot. I have to get a yellow Chris Martin Red Sox jersey. City Connect has to happen. The guy who wrote the song Yellow sang the song Yellow, one of their biggest songs, of course. And the team has a yellow jersey.
Are you just going to get his full name on where the last name goes?
Chris Martin.
Chris Martin.
And here's the thing.
JD.
No spaces.
Yeah, right. Just like the JD. Yeah. One word. Chris Martin. The thing is, a perfect number for him would have been 42. Obviously, Jackie Robinson has 42 retired across the
I say he takes it anyway. Why not?
That's one of Coldplay's best songs. Deeper cut off of Viva La Vida from 08. It's called 42. It's a fantastic track of theirs.
Yeah.
It's great. Coldplay jokes aside, it's actually a good way to bolster the bullpen because Chris Martin.
It's a great move.
Low key. Very good pitcher. He was okay with the Cubs last year as a setup sort of a guy. Got traded around the deadline or at the deadline to LA. And of course, like we've said multiple times, something is in the water at Chavez Ravine because this man with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 26 appearances, get this, fellas, ready? When we love the plus stats, a 2.90 ERA plus. 2.90. This guy's the real deal.
Yeah.
113 FIP to go along with a 146 ERA. So it actually, 146 ERA, even out of the bullpen, is stellar. But a 116 FIP suggests that, no, he was actually pitching even better than what the surface numbers say.
I was going to just, we love our plus numbers, and I don't want to look this up, mostly because I imagine it'd be quite depressing, but how many members of the Red Sox bullpen last year do you think had positive ERA pluses?
Whitlock, Schreiber.
I mean, Houck missed like a large amount of time, but it would be him. He probably had one.
Oh God, let me see.
Is
If I
that
can
I would
pull it up.
honestly, Strom, maybe?
Yeah.
Like a 105.
Yeah.
You guys find
Let's,
that? I'll
let's
be
like
right
our-
back. I got to get a charger real quick, so keep talking.
So if we're going off, so anyone that threw more than 50 innings, you've got Schreiber, Houck, Waka, Whitlock, Eovaldi, and Jake. We got one wild card in here. Who do you think it is?
Oh God.
ERA plus over 100.
They threw more than 50 innings last year for us.
He threw exactly 50 2/3.
Oh,
He did not
Jesus.
finish the season with the team.
No. Oh, it's Diekman. I wrote about this.
No,
Wait. Oh, wait. Really? I have no idea. Who is it?
it's Salamura.
Oh wow. Yeah. Actually, he's the most average relief pitcher there ever was.
What was it? Was he? He's great on the road, or is he great at home?
Yeah, he was great on the road. He
Vice
couldn't
versa.
No, he couldn't pitch at Fenway. That's correct. Diekman also had a 100 ERA plus, and I was baffled because I watched those innings. There's no way that man was a net nothing. I mean, he was
If you're new
losing.
here, there's maybe like 5 people ever that Jake has ever hated more than Jake Diekman. Jake Wallinger, not a fan of Jake Diekman. I'd say you're probably not a fan of Adolf Hitler. I would say you'd probably put him under Jake Diekman, but from there, it's kind of a toss up.
It's close.
It's close. Jake Diekman or Kanye West?
Well, speaking of, Fitz, do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can tell the man, positively right here because he will be our first guest at Over the Monster for our SB Nation debut, Mr. Kanye West himself.
Yep. Here to
fresh
speak
off-
on Heim Bloom. Here to speak
Yeah,
on his
fresh off
thoughts
his Alex Jones appearance. Also, if you're new here, we like making fun of conservatives too. So
It's a left leaning podcast.
It is.
hey, this is like you go on Splash Mountain at Disney World or something like that, and it has like the
Gone.
last chance to exit
Closing.
here sign. Yeah, they're turning it into the
It's gone woke, Fitz. Splash
Yes,
Mountain.
yeah, the woke moralists have
They've
taken.
gotten to.
It's
yeah.
gonna be they're gonna call it the Princess and the Frog ride.
So this
It's your
is
last
an
chance to exit
actual-
sign, basically.
This is an actual problem I have with the way Disney names rides now. They suck at naming rides now. Like they used to name rides like Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, fucking what are other rides?
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship, like catchy, They like
Flows off the tongue.
words. 2 words now.
Test track.
They name shit there's like 10 syllables in the name. Like Splash Mountain's name is, I think it's like Princess Tiana's Bayou. It sucks.
Yeah, you gotta-
Tiana's Bayou Adventure. What is a little kid gonna say that? Like, hey, I want to go on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That sounds terrible. They're gonna
as,
go.
as
I
they're
wanna-
doing the soy face point behind them.
Yeah, I hate the way, or like Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance. Just name it. People know what IP they're looking at. It's not. Anyway,
Slinky
welcome
Dog
to,
Dash.
Welcome to our Red Sox podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Here's another thing you have to understand. Topic of conversation could completely change just in the matter of 2 seconds. It will. You're just gonna
Zero
have to deal with it. I can already tell so many people like these guys fucking suck. Why did they bring them on? Hey, you love it or hate it? No. So
I hope we get some hate emails. We should put we should put our email.
I can't
back
wait
in
to see
our-
the comments.
yeah, why were they talking about Splash Mountain at Disney World? What was that all about?
But just to close up shop, the
Yeah, Chris Martin's
move,
cool.
great move. I mean, literally anybody would have been not literally anybody, but most decent players would have been a positive addition to the bullpen. But he was probably, one of the top relief arms on the market. No, a free agent market.
Yeah, outside of, you don't count Diaz there because he got an extension, But,
Yeah.
one of those guys, another one that you might see, Taylor Rogers is a free agent too, right? Lefty, who was with the
Right.
Twins. He kind of faltered towards the end of the year with San Diego, but he does seem like a guy who could maybe try to make a bid on, get another lefty in the bullpen alongside Jolie. It could be, I think that could be a good buy low gambit from one Chaim Bloom to help boost the bullpen up. That alongside Jolie and now the lead singer of Chris Martin. I think that could be a good start to boosting the bullpen going forward, depending on what you do with Whitlock and depending on what you do with Houck going forward. Having those guys, I think, is no question an improvement for part of the team that was very annoying last year. I think they had, Liam, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like 67 blown saves last year. At least that's what it felt like. It certainly felt like that.
Yeah, you're right there.
We're ballparked it there. That's kind of general understanding as to how that went.
It fits the
But
best thing
what
about...
we said a couple weeks ago, like if Ryan Brazier's throwing 60 innings for you, something went horribly wrong.
Yeah, we could start looking at the draft
should have been
class after that, the 2024 draft class, because we're going to be on the
What
clock
pick do we
first.
have? What pick? 10 or 12 or something?
Somewhere in the middle.
15? Whatever.
Something like
The
that.
best thing about Chris Martin, fellas, and I'm a strong proponent of this. He walks no one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I love.
He walked
that's what I love the
one
most.
guy after he got traded to the Dodgers.
It's probably why the peripherals love him so much. And I know that's only, just under 25 innings there, so it's a smaller sample size, but it is indicative of the fact he does limit the walks. You look over the last couple of years, in 2021, less than a walk per 9 innings. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's good. I've said this to you guys, but I would much rather watch a pitcher get shelled on hits than...
All right, I beg pardon. It was
Continue.
1.2 walks per 9 in 2021. As if that's horrible. You know what I mean? As if that's so much worse.
I'd much rather watch a guy get hit to smithereens than him putting men on with a base on balls. Nothing is more frustrating as a baseball fan than a pitcher with no command, I think.
Walks just exacerbate issues, It's
That's
if
right.
your
That's right.
defense isn't up to snuff, or if you're giving up dinky, bat bippy kind of hits, walks are only going to make things worse. That I wrote in the blog on Over the Monster. You go over there, overthemonster.com. Nice little plug there. But I wrote in the blog this past week, the thing with Bayo that he needs to work on is the walks. And his peripherals, just raw pitching wise, you look at his FIP, you look at things like that. He's got nasty stuff, and he kind of got unlucky at times. You could definitely point to that, but he also walks a ton of guys, and that's only going to make matters worse when you're on the mound. Chris Martin is almost the exact opposite of that. If he's not going to be giving out free passes, attack the zone more, and just trust your defense to make plays if need be, or just slice guys. That's always a good option too. Yeah.
I can't disagree there, Fitz. I
you
can't
go.
disagree with anything you just
So
said.
so as of right now, the bullpen is what? Are we if they don't add anybody else, are we going?
I mean,
Barnes at closer?
there's got to be another move there,
I mean,
right?
there's got to be. Because
But sure, Liam, for your sake, for the sake of
for the sake
conversation.
for the sake of the argument, like, Barnes looks good.
I'm just saying, for the
Towards
sake of the
the end
argument.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Barnes, Martin.
I guess Houck's going to be in there if we're going fully in on Whitlock in the rotation.
I think Cutter Crawford's
like they
going to
say.
surprise some people out of the pen.
I saw that on the timeline recently.
Oh,
Like
well, there you
Cutter
go.
and Winkowski.
Oh, Schreiber. We
guess-
also have Schreiber.
Yep, Trevor.
Oh yeah.
It's not that
As long
bad
as
right
his
now,
arm, as long
It's
as his
not-
arm isn't barbecue chicken.
dude. It was
Barbecue
crazy.
chicken alert.
They didn't shut him down like when they were 15 games out or whatever. Like what? What are you
Yeah.
wasting bullets
Kept
for?
running him out there.
Yeah,
Poor guy. But hey, who else would it have been?
for
More
that
Ryan
for that
Brazier.
last place finish, baby. I'm glad we did that.
One more guy, maybe it is Rogers or whoever it might be, for the rest of the free agent class. One more guy into that bullpen. I think I'd feel confident enough. Again, it can't get much worse than what it did, how it looked last year, with the exceptions of, Whitlock and Schreiber, stuff like that. They just dropped so many games, following bullpen collapses. So to boost it like that, especially if it's a high upside kind of a play like a Rogers, we've seen what he's done historically. I think that would make a lot of sense going forward.
I think I might lead the the parade for Nick Pivetta to the bullpen.
Nicky smooches. Him and
Yeah.
Whitlock basically trade spots.
I think that could be the move. I really do. I mean, guys, you watched that Tampa Bay game in the playoffs last year. You saw it with
Yeah,
your
he
eyes.
was electric.
Yep.
He was electric.
Two or three innings at a time, Nick Pivetta can look like fucking Bob Gibson out of the
That's
bullpen.
what I'm saying. Stop. Just give up. Just let him come out of the bed.
Just quit.
Every good reliever, fellas. What do they say? Every good reliever is a failed starter. That's what they say.
I've never heard that phrase before. But
My only.
It's not really true as
is
much
like-
now when bullpens started to get good, but before like 2010, it was true.
My only counter is that he threw the most innings in the rotation last year. He made 33 starts. Nobody else other than Rich Hill made more than 25.
Jesus Christ.
really are in the
So-
That's the
Cowboys
worst
for a
stat
bit.
I've ever heard.
mean, it's
All
not
right,
like
Liam.
Pivetta was going deep. He only
That's
threw
a good
180.
point. That's a good
That's
point.
my only counter.
That's a good counter. Well,
Liam's also the residential Pavetta guy here.
that's
I
true.
am. I love.
We'll
Nicky
see. I'll address this in about a month after the winter
Pig.
meetings.
In a perfect world, he's your number 4 starter.
No, I'd say in a perfect world he's 5.
Really? Even if he's giving you 33
Dude, he
starts and 180 innings?
sucked the second half last year.
I mean, that's fair.
He sucked.
He's the new Nick, or he's not. He is Nick Pivetta.
He's the new Nick Pavetta, folks.
He is
He's
Nick
Rick
Pivetta.
Porcello.
Yeah, no, I trusted Rick. Big Game Rick?
Attractive Frederick.
Big Game Rick was throwing complete game one hitters against the Yankees, dude.
That's true. I mean, Nick had a complete game this past year.
Did he?
Yeah. Back when he was like on fire in May and June.
Oh, in like May. Yeah.
Yeah, when he had like
right.
that 9-10 start stretch where he was
Yeah.
great, and then
Hmm.
nothing else ever good happened to him ever again.
Well,
Do we think Waka comes back?
no.
I think he might get a real hefty bag. I mean, if you get him obviously
I think
at the right price,
he's
that's
gonna get
anyone.
back. I think Nate will be back. I still think that.
I think if they lose Nate, they'll bring Waka back.
I think the Rangers or somebody. I mean, they're clearly feeling themselves. I think they're going to give Walker like $70 million or something.
Oh Jesus!
Per
He is only 30. He's only 30.
Per.
5 years, 70 per.
Yeah.
Just giving out money left and right. So moving on to more of the offensive stuff. We had some good news with the Chris Martin stuff. My elation there. Time for some sadder news. And Liam also as the residential Franchi. I mean, this is a pro Franchi Cordero podcast. Not necessarily pro as in he's a
God
good
bless
player,
him.
but pro that we like him.
God bless him.
Yeah, he's going down to the Chesapeake Bay area, Liam. He's gone. He's signed with the Baltimore Orioles.
I mean, I hope they don't just like stash him in Norfolk like he was in Worcester here. Like I know they want to compete this year. They signed Kyle Gibson, so like that indicates that they're kind of serious. But like I don't see the fit with Franchi there.
Utah Street
unless
is
he
in for a world of hurt, my friend.
I mean, in my ideal world, he's breaking windows on the 8th floor of the warehouse in Baltimore, but
A lot of damage. Those
I
5 home
don't
runs
see
he's
it.
going to hit at Camden this
I
season.
don't see it.
I mean, he might be the guy, right? To hit the warehouse.
Oh, for sure.
He has that
that
power. I mean,
power?
again,
Can I bet on that?
well now with code POL, yes you can with our new sponsor because with SB. No, I'm joking there. But no, yeah,
I'm gonna miss him though. There's so much promise there still. I believe in him. The plate approach was vastly improved this year. It was just the
it was
the
hard to be
The
worse.
results weren't there, and the defense is much to be desired. But
Oh God, dude, that play in Tampa. Oh God.
but the tools are there. The tools are there. So
He does feel like a guy like he'll be like 52 years old, be like, man, I'm telling you, the raw hit tool, it's so like the raw power. If he could just translate to that in game, he's got the wheels, you know. qualifies for AARP. Like, I'm still holding out hope for him. If he gets a minor league contract somewhere, maybe he makes
He's
a
gonna
play.
put it together. Meanwhile, he's like 38.
In more serious news, though, so long, Franchi. Thanks for the Grand Slam walk-off there. But
Yeah, that was cool.
the more
Sunday Franchi was the best hitter I've ever seen.
it was a cool thing. What's
He
not
loves-
cool?
he loves
Franchi,
it on Sunday.
fresh off a call up, was the best hit I've ever seen. he
For the
he
first, like,
hit it
3 games.
in Williamsport. That was the other home run he hit.
Was that his last home run with us?
I
It might have been
believe so.
his swan song.
Yeah.
So, obviously, goodbye, Franchi Cordero. And another thing you don't like to see, at least for this, as far as Red Sox fans are concerned.
Wait, Fitz, can we take a TO?
Yeah, why? What's up?
Liam, are you speaking through your headphones?
No, it should. Oh. Is that different? Is that
That's
better?
so much better. I
do
knew
sound
I
much better.
Fucking
What
knew
the
that's what
hell?
it was. All right.
Because when I first hopped on in the waiting
now you're
room,
more
like,
crackly.
I was
Yeah, wait. I mean, Liam,
spaghetti.
unplug the mic and plug it back in. I knew he said. I was like, "This is more muffled than he." Oh boy.
How about now?
That's good, I think.
Like crackly?
No, now you're clean.
It was.
Wait, say a long sentence, Liam. Go.
Franchi Cordero will be sorely missed.
Okay, you're all right. That's way better. Fitz, you agree?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fine.
And Liam,
even
make
through
sure
the
you're.
headphones,
Make
so-
sure you're.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I just had to. I realized what
Yep.
it was. I could. And okay. Okay. Yep.
There is
So I'm
there is
just-
definitely a distinct difference.
Yeah, you're way better now.
I'm just making notes for editing.
And action.
Basically, that's kind of basically what it is. I'll do a little spiel in about 5 seconds.
Skip it about and butt up.
So yeah, I mean, Franchi sorely missed, of course, especially on this podcast. Another thing you don't like to see regarding the franchise player who's been the mainstay of your infield for about 10 years. Some negative reports about one Xander Bogaerts came in from a beat reporter. But before we get into that, ad time. Making a note because I have to splice it in.
You have to do that.
Yes.
Oh, you're a hero, Fitz.
27. Another
I'm kind
note.
of pissed we don't get to do ad reads. I was kind of excited.
Oh, an
for
ad
it.
read would be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might in the future. Dan said like we don't have them right now, but like they hope to have ad reads going forward.
I think we could have some fun with them.
Ad ends at 27:45. All right, I'll do it again.
What would be like a ridiculous sponsor for us to have?
I don't know.
My Pillow.
Yeah, my pillow is the dream. I think. All right, so I'm gonna start again in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those beautiful advertisements. Get used to them too, because again, SB Nation baby. Xander Bogaerts. Xander Bogaerts. We all love. They call him Xander Bogaerts. We love him so much. The saga continues. It feels like it's a complete roller coaster the last couple of days. You know, 1 minute he cuts off negotiations with the front office. The next second, the front office is saying, no, we actually have only spoken to Xander Bogaerts and no other players, free agents or someone that we already have under contract. You name it, we've only been talking to Bogaerts. Latest developments from Pete Abraham tweeted this weekend, as I'm stalling here to try to find the actual tweet. News. 2 sources say Xander Bogaerts has been meeting in person with interested teams this weekend and that the Red Sox have not made a competitive offer. My question was, have they screwed this up? The answer was yes. Fixable, maybe, but not looking very good right now.
So Fitz, I have a couple thoughts here.
But we are recording about
First
a Red
and
Sox
foremost-
podcast. Fire
That's
away.
what we're here
First-
for.
First and foremost, there has been nobody has said that another team has even made an offer for Xander. Which, like, not to defend the Red Sox, because I am kind of pissed it's even at this point, but it doesn't, at this juncture, it doesn't make sense to bid against yourself. Especially if the report is true that Xander said he would come back to them with whatever offer he gets.
Which I think he would.
I do
think he
too.
would
And
too.
so if that's true, then I don't fault them for not racking, because he
waiting,
wants
just
to hear
waiting.
from other teams now.
Yeah.
You know, you've made it this far. He's not gonna go, oh, now okay. You know, I mean, you're gonna hear out the Phillies or the Cubs or whoever the
Padres have been
Yeah.
thrown out there as a potential
So
spot.
if that's true, then I don't. It's kind of a weird report, and but I don't know, man. I mean,
It makes me nervous.
it does. Well, yes,
It's all posturing.
I'm just a worrier. That's why my friends call me Whiskers. Anyone get that reference? No?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
R.I.P.
SNL for those who wouldn't know. But the point is, yeah, again, and you said it earlier too there, Jake, and I think that's my big takeaway. I'm not exactly, I'm not the first person to have thought this, not even the first on this podcast, because again, you said it. But the fact that it's even at this point is exhausting. The entire saga at this point. If the team claims that Bogaerts is the top priority, I think they would have done. Well, I guess I don't know. I mean, you're right on the betting against yourself kind of thing, but they're not. I don't necessarily get the impression that they're really making Xander Bogaerts the top priority, like they say. They want to keep letting fans down, like let them down gently, easily.
So,
oh no, he's
yeah.
still we're still in conversations with Xander Bogaerts, like he's our top priority. But also, like you're also just getting the feeling that Chaim Bloom said, oh, you have to have contingency plans in place, which yes, 100%. But if he really is this top priority, like you're making it out to be, the walking of the walk, I don't think is exactly matching the talking of the talk, if that makes any sense. Liam, what say you regarding this latest development in the ongoing Xander saga?
I would say Chaim has read the famous book Art of the Deal. It's just how it's playing out.
I wrote it.
No, like Jake said, it's like you don't want to bet against yourself and outbid yourself when we don't really know if there are any concrete offers out there. So let him meet with the Phillies. Let him meet with the Cubs. I'm sure they're going to meet with him at some point. It's just I think we're all just kind of like impatient and have PTSD from Lester and Mookie and potentially Devers. It's like
You can't blame anyone
pre-PTSD.
for that. I mean, it's been the amount of times we've seen this song and dance.
Yeah, Fitz. So where I'm at with this is, once he was not signed on opening, or no, that was only Devers that wouldn't talk during the season, right? Or was it both?
I don't think Xander talked to him during the season.
Okay, so sure. Once he wasn't signed on opening day, it would be not smart of really Xander or the Red Sox to not let Xander speak to other teams after that point, because, and this is important, there are 2 and maybe 3, depending on how you feel about Dansby, like extremely good shortstops that are not Xander Bogaerts that are also available. So with something like Edwin Diaz with the Mets, who he's so clear of every other reliever, they were fine with blowing him out of the water with an offer before he could talk to other teams, because it's like, well, we're not getting better than this. It doesn't matter. With Xander, like, say you don't want to be dumb and offer him a gross overpay and then 2 months later learn that Correa or Turner are making similar money or less money. Like, you at this point, it behooves everybody to let people talk.
And I think I get what you mean there, Jake, and I think that does make sense to a point, to an extent. But on the flip side of that, you don't want to be caught with your pants down. You keep saying, "Oh, Xander is he's priority number one," and I understand a lot of these things kind of work in the background. They could have a massive offer on the table for Trey Turner right now, as far as I know, just to give an example. But with that, if you do miss out on Bogaerts, and then the ship has sailed on a Correa or Turner or Swanson, like, you don't want to, at the end of the day, roll out Jonathan Villar as your starting shortstop because you tried to push this a little too far and it fell off of the edge, Wile E. Coyote style. At some point, you don't want to bid against yourself, true, but for a guy who's been a franchise staple, and this is a little bit more sentimental than just pure facts, facts on the field, facts don't care about your feelings sort of deal. But for a guy who's been a mainstay of the organization, basically for all intents and purposes, your captain, if you have to spend up a little bit for that, I'm fine with it. If it secures that production out of that shortstop position going forward, especially if you lock up Devers, the left side of your infield. If you miss out on Bogaerts, it is a matter of, okay, well, better hope those contingency plans pan out, because if you miss out on Correa, then you miss out on Swanson, you miss out on Turner. What's the call? Because shift Trevor Story, who can't throw as hard as he used to over a shortstop.
Barbecue chicken alert.
Yeah, with that, as good of a fielder as he is, he has good range over there in the middle infield. From what we've seen, it's just the arm isn't all the way there yet, and that's just from a defensive standpoint. Offensively, Bogaerts is as consistent as they come. How are you going to fill that hole in the lineup? That's what makes me wary about all of this. You don't want to push your luck too far on that.
The Xander thing comes down, and if we're putting emotions aside, of course, because that's a whole other thing with this. But
Jakey Shapiro,
facts. We're talking about facts here, folks. The Xander thing comes down to, if you let him leave, and you don't get one of the other big three, it is a disaster.
Yeah. That's my point, right?
Yeah.
And again, you never want to bet against yourself.
That is completely
anything.
ignoring what he means on a personal as your
right
de facto captain and shit. But if you put that aside, like I'm saying, you got to get one of the four, which includes him. And that's where we're at right now, folks.
Yeah,
it's true. Bobby Dahlbeck, opening day shortstop.
God, don't even.
You heard it here
first. Don't even. You've spoken into existence now. God damn it! They're gonna try it. They've tried it everywhere else, like besides catcher.
No, he played short. He played short
second.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. So they'll do it full time.
Yeah.
That's like,
what's
man.
What's that video of the Cardinals middle infielder at Citi Field where he like whips it over to first without looking and it hits the umpire?
Yeah,
that would be Trevor's Story over there.
We tweeted the 50 Cent first pitch from the Mets.
Throwing lobbing grenades over to first base.
Yeah, and again, you never want to outbid yourself. You're right, Jake. But it does make me worry that they better cover their ass if Xander does end up going to the city of brotherly love or San Diego or wherever it might be. Arizona was thrown out there a couple days ago, I think, as a potential destination, which doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, Liam,
I will say Jake's thoughts have. I feel like this has been a good like therapy session for everyone that was like freaking out today. Just like I think they're playing it the right way as of right now. It's just we're impatient.
Yeah, the problem is everything before right now. Like this in a vacuum is the correct way to handle
this.
Is
the way to play it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't want it to be the Tom putting the shotgun through the hole, then it comes back up. You know what I mean? He's trying to shoot Jerry in the mouse hole, but then it loops around and it's going to blast his face off. You don't want it to backfire, basically.
Sure.
Jeter
Liam.
Downs, opening day shortstop.
All right, that's enough.
Stop! Do you keep doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you speaking these things into existence?
Yeah, we got options. Those are our contingencies.
God, spare me.
Heim keeps talking about.
You brought up into our group chat, Liam, as if anyone else who is listening to this was in the group chat. But you brought up an article from The Athletic. We like to talk about these things sometimes, especially when it's the off season. This is the time to do it. Some trade ideas proposed regarding the Boston Red Sox by The Athletic. There's a list of about 5 of them or so.
Yeah, I've got the article here. I mean, we could just go down the line.
I was going to say, we could either go down the line or like pick out like 1 or 2 of them that you want to talk about. Ones that really jumped out to you.
Liam, you've only got 20 minutes.
Yeah, I only got 20 minutes. I got a group project call at 7.
Fucking
school. It's my last week of school though, so.
All right. Well, let's blow through these, and then we'll get into our.
Knives Out.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I'll tell you, the ones that moved me the most was obviously we already mentioned him today, Sean Murphy at the beginning. The proposal here is Rafaela, the outfielder, Nick York, and Bobby Dahlbeck. Like,
I would do that.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean,
the
that's
Athletics
silly.
would never do that. The Athletics would never do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they'd be happy with Rafaela and York, but like, why would they want Bobby Dahlbeck?
I mean, maybe, You have to get rid of Dahlbeck this offseason, probably, just as far as like roster management. Because, well, right? He's got to go somewhere. So maybe you're throwing him in, but I don't know why.
I think it takes more to get him than that. I think you got to throw in Wong or Hernandez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe like Mata. I would do like.
No, I agree though. That seems like a preposterous underpay, that proposed one.
Yeah, and then the other one we can talk about, since he requested a trade the other day, Brian Reynolds.
Yeah.
This is the real. I need him in left. The idea of him in left field, I'm barking directly at it. My goodness.
The proposed trade is Mata, Rafaela, and John Schreiber. I still think it takes more to get him than that.
That seems so low.
A guy
Who wrote this?
It's I don't want to put anyone on blast. It was a Red Sox beat writer and they did the piece with like the corresponding other teams beat writer.
Really?
So like the Pittsburgh beat writer gave his thoughts.
An all-star caliber player with team control through I believe 2026. On a no, that would absolutely take more.
Yeah,
if that is the deal, I love Schreiber. Listen, Schreiber has been a revelation.
Yeah, I'll drive him to Logan.
You're gonna love pierogies in Pittsburgh, man. You're gonna absolutely love it. You're gonna go to Steelers games. You're gonna wave the terrible towel. What was that, Liam?
I said the pierogies. They even race like during the game.
They most certainly do. The pierogi races. No, but 1,000% yes to that trade. Are you kidding me? For Brian Reynolds, put him in left. Get Mitch Haniger to DH. We'll see you in the World Series, fans.
Like they're great trades for the Red Sox, but
they certainly are.
Folks, it takes two to tango.
It does.
So here's one more. Here's the last one I'll mention just because I found it interesting. It's one I don't think anyone has brought up or even mentioned these guys, but Griffin Jax, reliever from Minnesota, and Max Kepler for McGuire and Seabold. I think it's a fascinating trade because you get a good reliever and you get a semi-controllable outfielder. But
who has shown flashes of being a pretty damn good player. He's got a hot goal.
Kepler was worth
30.
Kepler was worth 2 WAR last year, right? That's a good player.
And I wasn't familiar with Griffin Jax until reading this article.
Kepler is not controllable, by the way.
Oh, he's not. So maybe that's why the offer is just McGuire and Seabold.
Yeah, he's a free agent after this year. As a team option after.
I'm mostly interested in
just what you do that. You're 100% unless you made the Sean Murphy trade. You're 100% saying okay, Connor Wong is the starting catcher, which
right.
Or
you could sign Vaz. I don't know. I don't see that happening.
Bring him home.
Yeah, people keep bringing it up. I don't think
it's
not happening. Not happening.
Yeah.
It'd be fun if it happened, but I don't think it's gonna. God bless him. What do you think it actually would take for Brian Reynolds? Because again, multiple years of team control, arbitration. Again, damn good player. His defensive metrics didn't look great per Savant. I think it was like a negative 10 outs above average.
He's not very good in center field,
but he's consistent. Like he was good the year before that. I think he had like a 7 outs above average. But even if you put him in left, I know it's a different left field at Fenway. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Monster or anything that's over the Monster. But I still think that would be. I mean, the one that they proposed was a no fucking brainer for Brian Reynolds. No brainer.
I think it's got to start with Miguel. If you're not going to pull from the big three. Well, Bayo's not even a prospect anymore, technically, but...
Yeah, Bayo's part of your rotation. I don't think you can give him up in that. Casas is your first baseman. Can't give him up. And then Marcelo, if you wanted to
Reynolds
flip him...
is not the player I'm...
Yeah.
I would need even more control.
You need Mayer, like... I'm not saying he'd be in a deal for like a Shohei Ohtani, but like sort of like an end gamey sort of a player, someone like a tier or two above of a Brian Reynolds.
We are winning the World Series now. Like this is the last piece kind of thing.
Yes,
Brian Reynolds, great. I'm sure he's a great player. He's not
very good player, but you would not.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I would say pick.
And
anybody
if you did give up Mayer for Reynolds, which I don't think you should do, you should ask for David Bednar as well. Like Bednar should be in that discussion. If you're gonna put Marcelo on the table, if you're gonna put him there, you have to you have to at least get a little bit more juice out of that squeeze if you're going to give up Meyer.
Yeah.
Wagner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say though, like if you're throwing Meyer in there, then you sure as hell better get one of the shortstops on the market.
Yes.
Oh well, yeah. That's
Yeah,
another thing.
like that's another. It's just like just waiting for these pieces to come together. I think a lot's going to happen over the course of like the next 3 days.
I'm
And
excited.
we'll have-
Which is why
I'm
we're recording
nervous.
on Sunday.
Emergency pod.
Yeah, we'll rip an
on
emergency. We
Thursday.
can do that.
Yeah, big
So-
time. If an
right.
extension happens.
So now we have a little fun thing.
Yeah, this is the fun stuff. We talk baseball on this show, but we do a little fun stuff too. It's not all business all the time on Pod on Lansdowne. If this is your first one,
Freeform
Oh,
jazz.
skibbity bobbin bobbin da da.
Skibbity?
It appears Oakland is close to a trade, but the Braves are not going to be the acquiring team.
Mystery
The
team.
The
Oh,
Cardinals,
oh.
Rays, Guardians, and Red Sox are the teams that have been connected to Murphy.
Do we think
Let's
this happens
see.
before midnight?
If it does, we got to come back on to do like an epilogue, right?
1 a.m.
Yeah, an extra, a tag
Extra, like,
on
10,
there.
15 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta drop that project call, Liam, if this does go through.
I know. I'll be like, guys, sorry.
All right, well, let's have some fun because that's not actually real. Nothing actually happened.
Jake, this was your
But it's
idea, the
exciting
Knives
to know
Out
our
thing,
name,
right?
No, this was Liam's idea.
This was Liam. My beg pardon. Liam came up with this
Was it?
idea,
Yeah.
I think it was a joint effort.
or maybe it was me. I don't know.
it was you,
I'm
the
joking.
listener, the girl reading this, the girl listening right now.
Shall I explain, Fitz, as the resident film guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Take it away.
Okay, so recently in theaters premiered Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which is a sequel to Knives Out from a few years back, starring Daniel Craig as Detective Benoit Blanc. And sort of the trademark of these films, or one of them, is kind of a fun, eccentric cast of A-list actor, big stars. And we thought it would be fun if we made our own Knives Out mystery with people from Red Sox and Red Sox adjacent.
Past, present, and future.
Yeah, like just kind of Red Sox characters of the last whatever.
The Red Sox cinematic universe.
Yeah, so we each got 4, which is, I think there's like 10 to 11 people in a Knives Out movie, so that works. And do you want to go one at a time? I think that's probably the best.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
at a
I think
time.
that's the best way to do it.
Okay, who wants to lead off?
I cannot risk this one not being there because this is the crux of the movie. Smiley has to be in it, of course.
Okay, yeah. That's
And
I
here's
didn't
the
have
thing,
him.
Ryan. Two things because of this. One, the Knives Out movies all kind of have like a social commentary.
They do,
on
yeah.
it. And again, it's anti-right leaning sort of on both of them. Our whole bit is that Smiley was an insurrectionist there on January 6th. Smiley is mega or mega adjacent, however we feel
among,
that day.
Among other characters.
So he's one there, and then 2, you need someone who did it. I'm just spoiler alert right
are we
away.
picking the murderer right now?
Smiley killed him, 100%.
Oh.
Smiley did it.
Wait, but I.
We haven't even
All right.
gone yet.
Well, one of mine. Okay, sure.
You had to.
Smiley.
How
Smiley's
about
our
we all
first
put someone
cast-
together who we think did it? I think Smiley
Okay.
did it.
Smiley's our first cast member.
Who else
Liam, you
got?
want to go next?
Oh, first one for me.
Sure.
Heidi Watney.
Oh, that's
Aw.
good. Well, you need a lady. You need a
Yes.
lady in the house or whatever.
Yeah, I mean the other picks will explain why she's there, but it adds like B, C tier plots to the film.
Okay.
There's
If
levels to this.
We're really putting it together. If we're really putting it together.
Okay, great. So who do I want to lead? Okay, so mine. So a couple of mine have like caveats, like it's a person, but there's a specific. Well, I'll explain myself. So I want Theo Epstein in the house.
But he's in
But-
the gorilla suit.
He's in the gorilla suit the whole movie. Yeah, and you could even
Yeah.
play it. You could even play it as maybe a reveal, like he takes off the suit at the end of, or he takes off the mask at the end of the movie. It's like, oh, it's Theo Epstein, GM of the Red Sox, in the mid 2000s. So, or he could take but he's in the suit for the majority of the film is the important part.
I think Brazier has to be in there as a red herring. Right from the get-go, you think all signs originally are pointing to Ryan Brazier being the man who did the crime, but then Benoit Blanc starts to unravel a little bit that and then exonerates him. But just for Ryan Brazier to get a little the poo-poo early on in the movie, I think that's a layup.
Okay, sure. I like that, Fitz.
All right, so next one for me, Nick Green.
Nick Green.
Okay.
Yep,
What are the levels of this?
All right.
there are levels.
Sure. Okay.
I don't know what to say for Nick Green.
Yeah,
I don't have
nothing
anything.
on that
Well,
one, man.
I don't have anything for that.
You'll need the context once I add the third final number to this.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Sure. My okay. My next one. My next one is Nelson, the little guy that was in the 2004
Oh,
Red Sox
Pedro's little
comeback.
friend.
Yeah, Pedro's little friend Nelson. I just think he'd be a blast to have. He's actually passed away, so rest in peace, Nelson.
Yes, rest in peace, King.
But maybe
100%.
CGI Nelson we could do. I'm not sure, but Nelson,
Deep
I'd
fake.
like to be.
De-aged Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like. Well, he's dead, so
How many?
But,
how many were you getting here? We get 4.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So I got 2 more, which is perfect.
yeah.
Smiley needs a MacGuffin, to be set it to. I don't know if I used MacGuffin correctly, Jake.
You didn't.
He
You did not.
He needs. Then he needs Chekhov's. He needs Chekhov's gun. This actually works
Okay.
perfectly. JD Martinez loves his guns, so he brings out the guns there. That's what happens.
Oh shit! Okay, I have to change one of mine then.
Ah.
So yours is JD Martinez with guns.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
that's off the
so
that's how Smiley kills him. He finds one of JD's guns.
Okay, so I actually had Jonathan Papelbon with a hunting rifle. That was one of mine.
Oh,
So, okay, maybe both. We could have both.
Maybe both. Yeah, maybe he goes out guns blazing with both of them. Maybe he does the fire, the hunting rifle from the hip. Maybe he's
Okay.
just completely guns blazing.
Yeah. All right, Liam, you.
next up, and to complete my trio of characters here, Jason Veritek.
Okay. All right. Oh brother.
Oh boy. Well, it's actually funny. Hold that thought on my 4th one.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my last one because Papelbon was one of mine. Fitz, this is why I'm not sold on Smiley being the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Remy.
Oh no.
No.
Cut it.
That is a great one. That is a great one.
Could he? Perhaps he's escaped. And he-
Try again.
Ah, fuck! I don't have a spare one. That was it.
Think of someone. Just someone.
All right. Well, Fitz, you do yours.
I have to jump in there. You know what? I might as well just jump in with it because you mentioned Jason Veritek, Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine Veritek just seems like someone who's just going to light off the powder keg in the movie. She will light the proverbial fuse, and everyone starts accusing one another. She starts yelling at Benoit Blanc. I love Catherine Veritek, but she's very punchy on Twitter. And another thing that Rian Johnson likes to do, he likes to incorporate the social media aspect of everything like that. That seems like a natural fit.
Yeah, she's a good fit with my love triangle of Veritek, Watney, and Nick Green. Do you guys know that story?
Yeah.
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 Yes,
I
Liam.
mean, for any of the listeners that aren't aware, during the 2009 season, Veritek and Nick Green, I guess they got in like a scuffle in the clubhouse, like punches were thrown, because I guess Veritek was seeing Heidi Watney, or at least thought he was, and I don't know if Nick Green like made a move or actually like took her out one night, but that didn't sit well. So yeah, they're my 3. That's my love triangle for the film, and I guess if Catherine's there, it makes it even better.
Yeah. Again, it could set off a whole thing. Maybe Smiley comes in and cleans up what the fallout of that trauma there. Who's to say? Who's getting bopped here? You know what? No, Jake. Who's getting whacked here?
Well, no.
Is it Wally? Is it Smiley?
No.
I do-
I've come
I do
around.
have one
I've got my sub.
Oh,
I would like it to be the Malden resident who found the 2018 Division Champions banner. He's in. That's my guy.
I
Actually, he
thought you
should
were-
die as well. I think.
Jesus Christ.
I
It's
thought-
just a guy.
No, I know, but I think because it's like, oh, that's the regular guy. It'd be very effective. I think.
I thought
Nothing
you were
against the
gonna
guy.
I thought you were going to say the
a
guy.
fictional
that,
movie.
The guy that climbed the Green Monster. And
Fuck,
broke
that's
into
a good one
Fenway
too.
at the
Yeah.
end of the
That guy's
2020
for sure like institutionalized.
It is Alan Webster jersey.
Yeah, that man
Um,
is in a padded room somewhere.
We
should
got
get that
iron out
guy
the
on
plot
here.
here.
If
We got
he's
a lot
not,
going on.
we should get that guy on here.
Yeah. come on the pod.
One more for me, who has no relation to any other parties that we've named thus far. Tessie. Tessie will be there.
Tessie, yeah. Lefty and righty have to be in there too.
I was gonna do lefty and right if we could pick 5, but
Mm.
Jake hammered us with 4.
Well,
Yeah.
the
He
movie gets
he
bloated.
handcuffed
You go
me.
more than the movie
That's
gets
true.
bloated. You go bigger than that.
But I
Can't
need
have 2
subplots.
star-studded of a cast.
I need those subplots.
Okay, great. I think this is really solid.
Yeah, we have
Wait, so-
we have a lot to iron out for the plot, but I think we got
Yeah.
something there.
But recap. Wait. So everybody just rattle
Okay, I'll
off
read
their
it
4
off.
real
Ready?
quick.
So we have Smiley. We have Heidi Watney. We have.
Should make a poster for this.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
Allah.
thing. We have Theo Epstein, but he's in the gorilla suit the whole movie. Ryan Brazier, Nick Green, Nelson, JD Martinez with guns. Excuse me. Jonathan Papelbon with guns. Jason and Catherine Veritek. And the guy from Malden who found the 2018 Division Champions banner.
What's it for the World Series banner? Well, obviously it didn't happen at that point, or the pennant is just the white. Hey, we won the AL East pennant.
That's right.
Let him keep
That's
it.
right.
I don't
yeah,
know.
it's just collecting dust in a warehouse somewhere probably. So,
Yeah.
all right, that gonna do it.
I think
that
so,
does it.
Fitz.
I think that's gonna do it.
Our first official affiliated episode.
Potentially
That's
the
right.
last.
Yeah, first and last.
Grand opening, grand closing. Well, if this is it, we thank you for joining us for on this journey we call Pod on Lansdowne. We got to end with a Coldplay song, fellas. I'll make the executive call on which one it will be when I'm editing this, but it will be a Coldplay song. So, for Jake, for Liam, I'm Fitz. You've been you. Thank you very much for listening again to this first SB Nation affiliated edition of Pod on Lansdowne. We will talk to you later this week. Or later next week, or maybe later this week if there's an emergency situation that develops. Who's to say? I can't read the feature, neither can you. But until we talk to you, take care and go Sox.
Go Sox.
Sox.